Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen, and this is my Flosstube channel about cross-stitch KBH stitches. Thank you so much for joining me. I hate all the kerfuffle before a video, but I know that once I get into it, it all becomes, I get lost. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. I know that there is a plethora of Flosstube videos out there now. I've even found myself kind of overwhelmed. So I appreciate you coming back. I hope that you like what you see. I have kind of a lot of everything. I'm coming back to you a little later than usual. And honestly, I thought my basket would be a little more full. So I may be missing a few things, but that's okay. I have plenty to show, and I'll try to use your time wisely, so I'll get to it. So first things first, my 2-year Flosstube Anniversary was on June 26th. So I've been doing this now for 2 years, which is crazy. And I was kind of thinking about when I started versus now. My stitching has kind of changed, and I've talked about that, but I was thinking about like what I'd like to do now. And so one thing was my Instagram account. So I did not start Instagram like when everybody started, but I started it way before I started doing videos. And I started it because Vanna Pfeiffer had said, start an Instagram account because it's basically like a photo journal of your stitching. And so you can see where you started, where you come. And I have used it a lot in that way. I've gone back to see when I started something, or gone, I've used it to kind of follow my stitching, and I only follow stitchers on there. It's a stitchy account, and I just have found that I started to try to kind of curate my pictures, right? Everybody has such beautiful pictures, and I kind of wanted to be like that, but I just don't have that skill. So like the last month, I think I only posted like 5 times. And I used to just post every day what I had stitched. And so I kind of want to get back to that. I want to get back to it being for me. And the fact is, I go on there now, and even though I only follow stitchers, I get a bunch of junk and very little of people that I feel like I'm following. So I hate that. I want to see everybody stitching, and I want to put the hearts on and all that. And I feel like it's not happening because I'm not seeing it all. But then I thought, well, Karen, you're not posting as much, so maybe that's what's happening. So I'm just going to do it for me. The other thing was that when I started the Flosstube, I hadn't started finishing things yet. And so I kind of had a big spurt in the beginning where I framed a few things, and I mounted a few things, and then I started making the pillows. And obviously I have a lot of pillows. I feel comfortable enough doing them. They're good enough. I've never messed up anything too bad. But I still have this whole wall. I made this, so this is like one room, and that half of it is my husband's office, and this half is my stitchy spot. My stitchy spot. It's not my stitchy spot. I don't stitch up here. I stitch downstairs, but it's my sewing stuff. And so I have this whole wall, and I was like, I want to fill that. And so one of the things I want to focus on kind of for this year and for Flosstube is to frame some stuff. When I first started, I glued some things, and I found I did not enjoy that. I like lacing things. It's somewhat therapeutic, and it gives you wiggle room so that you can adjust, and I just like to do it that way. There are tons of videos for lacing on YouTube. The one that I liked the best was Lindy Stitch's, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like lacing the wrong way, but it'll work video. And so that was kind of my speed. So anyway, I did frame a few things that I'm going to show you. And so a problem with me is that I will want to do something, and I will put it off until I'm thinking about it constantly, and it's driving me nuts. And so then I do it. And then what I tend to do is just go really fast and not step on the brakes and mess things up. So I have for you my first framed object. This is Spot the Horse, I think is just what it's called. It's by Kathy Barrick, and it's actually plastic, but there is a thing in there. So sorry about the glare, but so can you see it? Can't see it. Oh, I'm such an idiot. So what happened with this piece? So this piece has kind of been a nightmare since the very beginning. This piece I bought a long time ago. I went home to Colorado and visited a cross stitch store that's not there anymore, but it was called Gypsy Wool. And I had kind of just come back to cross stitching and had been introduced to a cross stitcher who introduced me to silks. And so I hadn't had an LNS. So I went in this store and I said, I would like to kit something in silks. And she was so helpful. She was like, great. She said, what kind of fabric do you like? And I said 36 or 40 count. And we picked this pattern because it only had like maybe like 7 colors in it or something. And she's like, I'll take care of it. You go off and shop. So I did that. And I came back and it was all ready to go. And that's when I learned that silks are incredibly expensive. I was not quite prepared. But this is decidedly a 32 count fabric. I don't know what it is. I think it's a Weeks Dye Works because it's real wavy, which was a pain in the neck. And I had like 7 silks and there were like 5 colors or something. Like it didn't match up. I didn't pay well. It was my fault. I didn't pay well enough attention. But anyway, I finally got it stitched and it looks fine. Whatever. So then I go to do this and I'm like, I have, what's it called? I have a giant piece of mat board, right? And then I have, what's it called? Foam core. And I knew the foam core was I wanted to put the back on this, so I didn't want to use the foam core, so I wanted to use the mat board. Well, so there was a mat, like a mat in the frame. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to measure it and make sure this will fit in the frame. And then I'll take the mat and I'll cut a piece of mat board to lace it on. And then I got frustrated and I forgot to cut out the mat board and I laced it onto the cutout mat, which you can completely see. See there? Hello. So I did it, I finished it, I put it in the frame and I was like, what is wrong? And I was like, oh, Karen, you're so dumb. So it's in there and I was so kerfuffled, I just gave up. So I don't know. I might just hang it up here as a reminder to cut your mat board. I don't know. Anyway, so typically me. Then I've showed you before, I had a set of 3 Barbara Anna animals and clothes that I had stitched and I wanted to frame and kind of put them in a little trio. So 2 of them are smaller and then 1 was bigger. So I finished, this is called Autumn Squirrel and it was from a Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. If you really want to know which issue, I can find it. So, and that one turned out fine. This one, I'm positive is a freebie. I think it's called Molly. Again, if you need to know, let me know. On both of these, sorry, they're both stitched with the Call for DMC, except for the skirts. The teal one here and the pink one here are those DMC variegated. I don't think, they're not colorist. Those are the ones that have like really harsh changes. I don't know what they are, but those were the only changes I made. But so I got those both done. And then I had this piece still to go. This is called the light. And I got an 8x10 frame for that one. And as you can tell, like just putting up the frame, right? I did not leave enough space at the top. So what I need to figure out now, I would still like to frame her. So I either need to find like a piece of fabric to put like, you know, like sewing fabric to like put down here, but I couldn't figure out a good color. Or I have this, this was another adventure. I bought this rickrack, sorry, crinkle, crinkle. I bought this rickrack off of Amazon, and I just thought it was like normal rickrack, and it's giant rickrack. But I thought, let me see if I can like show this. I thought I could maybe do like, oops. Oh, this is gonna be an adventure. I thought I could maybe like put that across the bottom, because it's in the same kind of color tone. So let me know what you think. If you have a fabric color suggestion, or if I should just use that rickrack. I have plenty enough to get it laced. I don't have enough at the top to lace it so that it's just gonna look, even if I use the very, very, I mean, I guess if I use the very, very tip, it might work. I don't know. Give me your suggestions on that one. But, so I did get 2 things framed. They're just fine. One that needs a little bit of an idea to help me finish it, and one that's a total mess. So that figures for me. That's about right. That seems to work. Okay, so that was my framing saga. And then I did do some finishing, and I had talked to you guys about making this into a pincushion, and there is a YouTube video from Professor Pincushion about putting pincushions into vintage planters. So if you just look on YouTube and say vintage planter pincushion, it came right up. It was super easy to do. I chose this little, I had a hard time finding a fabric that would work. But this is fleece, and I just thought the browns worked and the animals were cute. And so basically you just cut out a big oval, like I think I measured this, and I went like out an inch, if that makes sense. And you just kind of gather it up and fill it up, and you can make it as, you know, what's the word for that? Anyway, you know. Anyway, and then I'm hoping, nothing has changed in our life. We still don't have jobs. I don't know what's happening. Full panic has set in, but I'm here. What else am I going to do? Anyway, when I get to the point where I can buy something, there are some cute, what is that? Poutini pins, little wildlife pins on 1, 2, 3 stitch that I'm going to stick in there. And that way, this little treasure gets a spot. So that was very fun. Was it Leah? Please don't do that. It was Leah, sorry, I got distracted. The rhubarb stitcher suggested like a piece of felt that would look like a tennis ball. And I love that idea. So one thing that I didn't do that Professor Pincushion did do was glue this in. I didn't, because I just didn't know if this would be, because it's so easy to make, that now I'm like, oh, if I could find some like that tennis ball color yellow felt, that would look so cute. So I didn't glue it in. That way I can adjust it if I want to. But for now, it's not like I'm going to be using it all the time. It's going to sit in here and be my little buddy. So finished that. Then I did some FFOing. Sorry, I need to adjust things here. Those frames take up. Need to find one picture here. So my first, what am I doing? Oh, pillows. I'm gonna, sorry. I did the frames. I also made some pillows. So my first project was for Crossstitch Camp. That's not what it is. Stitch Camp 2025 with Colorado Cross Stitcher. My June project was, you had to stitch something that indicated you were a night stitcher or a day stitcher. And I'm a day stitcher, so I picked Miss McGuire's Eggs. And I finished that. Two things. There were like some flowers up here that I just didn't do. And then the chickens were supposed to be this color, and that color, it gets eaten up. I like how prim it is, but so I made the chickens, I think just blanc. And then I put this cute stuff on the back, and I did my second rickrack finish. So I had previously had a shepherd's bush kit that showed me how to, I tack mine down. There we go. It's just tacked on every corner there. I don't know if you can see. But I had bought some rickrack on Amazon that is basically like plastic. So this rickrack is from Purple Mountain Craft Shop or something on Etsy. If you need it, I'll put it below. Really, really nice. I think she sells them in 2-yard bundles, and I'm not sure if like you ordered 4, you would get 1 strand. I don't know that, but it was plenty enough to cover this, and I just love the color. And it was, I could tack it down. That plasticky stuff, I could not get the needle through. So anyway, so this was my finish for that first month of Stitch Camp with Colorado Cross Stitcher, and I love it. I love it. Also, these little stitches were supposed to be French knots, and nope. So very pleased with that one. And then I did some 4th of July stitching. 4th of July growing up was my very favorite holiday. I had a blended family, and so holidays could be a little bit difficult. But the 4th of July, we lived on we called it a court, but a cul-de-sac, right? And all the kids would do a parade in the morning. We'd ride our bikes around. We'd decorate our bikes and ride our bikes around. And then the adults would have like volleyball tournaments and tennis tournaments, and there was a community pool, and we'd do these games. And I remember the one game that seems kind of mean, I'll be honest. They would grease a watermelon and throw it into the pool, and like whoever could literally get it out, which is not easy, would win a prize. But anyway, and then there was like a big barbecue and whatever. And so I always loved the 4th of July. And so anyway, I wanted to show you a picture. This was me. This is me with my little tricycle that my brother decorated for me. And anyway, I don't know why that made me cry. I really loved it. It was like full of community, and yeah. So sorry, I didn't expect that. So anyway, I did some 4th of July stitching, kind of. Anyway, I finished this. This is one of the samplers from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. She has these freebies, and so I've done a lot of these. She calls them mini samplers, I believe. I've done a Valentine's Day and a St. Patrick's Day. I have one with sunflowers. I have one with honeybees. So anyway, I did this. And I finished that one. This is also, all 3 of these are from her blog, actually. This one, which I thought was really cute with the eagles. driving a truck. Interesting. And then I did this one, which I love. I think these she calls like her stamps, maybe. Trying to get that to focus. It's not going to work. Anyway, I think she calls these her stamp series, and there's Christmas and Easter and little birds and all sorts of things. And then I had to bring out, this I did a long time ago. I don't think I did it in 2018, but we got Fergus in 2018. So I put his gotcha date and Fergus, and there he is, look at that. And I love this piece. I have this out all the time, my Fergus piece. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so those were my, yes, those were my FFOs. My aim as I go into my 3rd year of Flosstube is to fill this wall. It's never going to happen. But fill the wall, work on my framing, try and get just more comfortable with it, learn to cut out mat board, slow down, give myself time. Anyway, and then post a little more on Instagram. And I hope that it's okay that it's not perfect. It's just me. So anyway, also, as of this recording, I have finished 56 things this year, and I am so excited. So again, you're going to see that some of the things that I've just been doing consistently, I've slowed down a little bit on. I've been doing a lot more smalls, a lot more just pick it up, start it, finish it, so that I don't get bogged down by my choices. And so, yeah, but 56 things. And again, like, each of those little pillows was a thing. So they took me a day to stitch maybe, but anyway, stop. I don't need to invalidate my 56 finishes. They're worthwhile. Speaking of, I do a Milhhill every month, and my July, so my son picks, I have like a Ziploc bag of Milhhill kits, and he picked French fries for June. Nope. Yeah. What month are we in? July. This is for July. And it turned out super cute. I think all these colors are wrong, but it doesn't matter. As long as you... Okay. When you set up your Milhhill kit, it can be very confusing when they say light beige, medium dark beige, whatever. It can be very confusing, and I often make mistakes. But as long as you use that color consistently, it's fine. So anyway, so that was my Milhhill kit, and that now goes into the... I have a lot of Milhhills to finish. I'm not going to add that to my goals, though. It's all right. My second was Jacinta of Crafting on the Plains is doing year of freebie sale, and so I've picked a freebie. I've done extra freebies, but I picked a freebie to do each month, and this is my freebie for July. Darlene, avert your eyes. Here comes a squirrel. Look at that little hiking squirrel. Oh, and Aaron was like, he needs to be pointed at. Look at, they're like brothers. They're certainly related. Those cute little furry ears. Look at those furry ears. You have cute furry ears, my friend. Anyway, this is from The Blue Flower. If you go to her website, she has a section with a bunch of cute freebies, and she has quite a few of these squirrels. I've done them. There's one holding a heart. There's one baking a pie. There's one drinking a pina colada in a beach chair. I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember. But so cute. And that just took me like a day. So I'm excited. He's going on this side to FFO. This. So this was a freebie from Primrose Cottage. Primrose Cottage puts out a freebie every month, but you have to get it through their newsletter. They have 2 newsletters. I think this is what's getting people. One of the newsletters is for quilting. One of the newsletters is for stitching. That is what you need to sign up for. So I did not hashtag this year of freebie sale because you can't. I try to only do freebies that I know still are available and that are free. So anyway, this is a summer pattern and I was like, I don't want to do it on just normal fabric. The model they stitched is on like a pink fabric. And I think you'll remember maybe a few months ago, I did some dyeing experiments and they all turned out darker than I would have liked. And so I have this wild fabric. I'll show you this part, which for me is wild. You know, I do tea dyed fabric. That's what I do. But I use this piece of fabric. And this is 14 count Aida and I dyed it. I think it's like a 15 count now. It didn't shrink much, but there it is. And I used one strand because I did. So it's a little lighter than probably it would be with two, but I'm happy with it. But isn't that crazy? That's wild for me, but I love it. So now I need your help. I'm going to make a pillow. So I got out all my fruit fabrics here. Is there going to be a way I can do this? Sure there is. Where there's a will, there's a way. So these are my fruit fabrics. I have kiwi, limes, watermelons, cherries. Which one should I finish that on? I'm leaning towards cherries, but I'm not sure if that white is too white. So it doesn't matter. It's on the back. You don't see it at the same time anyway. So just vote. Let me know what you think. And I should have that all FFO'd for next time. All right, so those are my FFOs and my other finishes. So my 27.5 project is my project I work on at 27 minutes, 5 days a week, and I have fallen off the wagon with it, but I'm still plugging at it when I get to it, and that's the best I can do right now. A Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger by the Scarlet Letter. And the last time you saw this, I finished, I'll just clip it here, it's fine. Oops, 2 clips. So I got all the way to this end, right? And then I came back here, I had the pear. So this is all I've done. And it's been, I don't even think I showed it last time. So I did this flower, these strawberries, and this flower, and I've been filling it, which that was a lot of it. I think I started having to fill in up here. So I'm not doing this 5 days a week at all, but I have it set up on my Lowry stand still, and it's sitting there, and it's the first thing I see every day. And if I want to do it, I'll do it, and if I don't, I won't. And I figure the best thing to do right now, I mean, I haven't been stitching, like, it looks like I've been stitching a lot, but I really haven't, not as much as I usually, I'm stressed. It's fine. Everybody's stressed. I can't even get into it. So, it's there, and I figure the best thing to do is just to leave it out. If I put it away, it'll get lost to follow up. So I'm doing my best. It's fine. Nobody cares. This is a 2 threads a day pattern. This is Autumn Quilts. I have cropped it off and I'm stitching one for every month. I'm so sick of stitching these. That's all there is to say about it. I'm so sick of it. But I finished June. Nope. August. This is September, and I've started October. And so I know I will love these when they're done and they're pillows and I can put them out. I know why I'm doing it, and I want to do it for that reason. I am just so sick of stitching these. I'm just sick of them. And so same thing. These aren't getting grabbed every day, but I just need to get it done. And I think that's what happens is as soon as I'm like, Karen, you just need to get it done. Little bratty Karen comes out and says, no, I don't. Watch me. She's in there. She's this little girl riding her bike, probably telling her mom to get off. Let me go. I hate to say it. There's a bratty part of me. It just is. Anyway, I don't know why I went down that road. So, okay. On to, who cares? I don't even know anymore. This is my July project for Crossstitch Camp. What is it called? It's Crossstitch Camp is what it's called, but the hashtags are, it's Stitch Camp 2025 and Colorado Cross Stitcher. So go to her website. There's all the information. My July project was to stitch on your favorite designer. So I picked Prairie Schoolers as the crow flies. I love Prairie Schoolers. They are like peaceful and enjoyable. I mean, look at these colors. Oh, I love these. Let's see if I can. It's just so pretty. And I love it. These are like, look at that bang of yellow in there. Oh, they're so good. I haven't gotten as much done on this as I should have, but that's, well, problem number one, I'll show you. Well, problem number one, I was like, I'm going to want to mount this. So I took out the background. And then I was like, I started and I'm like, I don't want to do letters. So I just took those out too. Then I stitched this whole house wrong and I pulled that out. So it's been one of those, but I do love it. So I will continue on that through July into August, and August's challenge is, let me find it. I have it on here. August's challenge, and it doesn't matter. You can do August's if you didn't do June and July, is to pick something new. Use a new type of floss or a new type of fabric, a new color or count, a new designer, a new finish, something new so you learn or try a new thing. So my project is going to be a new designer, which is Birds of a Feather. And this is actually, these have been recharted by Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitcher. So I'm excited about this. He's much smaller than I thought. He's only 49 by 84. And I also thought, I said before, like this, the staff is gold and the little lantern is silver. I'm going to do the staff in like a yellow, but I thought I have silver, both étoile and diamond, and I've never stitched with either of those. So I thought I would do, since it's such a small amount, the lantern in that. So if you have a vote on what's easier to work with, I'm stitching this on 36 count. So would the diamond be better or would the étoile be better? So if you have worked with those and could let me know. It's not a huge amount of stitching, so I'm not terribly worried about it, but if I could just go into it thinking I'll be more successful, that would probably be better. All right, so then I had to start. My friend Fanny was starting this lovely project by the Blue Flower. This is Pigeon Puddle. So cute. And I had it all kitted, so I said, oh, well, why don't I come and help? Why don't I come do that too? I didn't get very far. I'm going to show you what happened. Well, I just got this flower in. But so what happened for me was that this was a Nashville release. And so I kitted it with a DMC because I didn't have the pattern in hand when I kitted it. Oops. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the colors are actually cottage garden threads. And so I think I can show you this part. So like for this cottage garden, what's the easiest one I can show you? Because I can show you. I think it's this one. See, it calls for 3 DMCs to replace that one. And that's because, I don't know if you can see, but it's all those colors in his neck. And so usually I would just, and I still might, I was like, okay, well, I'll just mix up those 3 colors. I have the 3 DMC colors, like I won't have the variegated threads, but I can just mix up the 3 DMC colors. Well, the problem is that then he has a reflection. And so both the color in his head is a cottage garden, and so it's 3 DMCs. And the color in his neck is a cottage garden, so it's 3 DMCs. So like over here, this is a cottage garden, and so you get the variegation of the dark and the light. I just use the 2, I just interspersed them and it was fine. The problem here is that he has a reflection. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. Part of me says just pick one color because then your reflection will turn out. But then he won't look so cute and natural. Part of me is like, nobody's going to know the damn difference. Just do it. Who cares? So I got a little kerfuffled with that one, but I love it. And now it has a start knit, so it's going into the whip pile, which is always better than nothing. So then Fanny was part of this too. I have a Zoom group, and I don't know if it was my fault this time. I know we had a witchy stitcher salad. I'm pretty sure that one was my fault, but I don't know if this one was my fault. But we, for some reason, started talking about Blueberry Ridge Designs. And then the fact that it was that on Tuesday, last Tuesday, so a week ago. Did I ever say what day it was today? I don't know. It's July 16th today. It's a Wednesday. So a week ago Tuesday was National Blueberry Day. So that meant we all needed to get a Blueberry Ridge chart and start it. So this was like my first purchase I made. I've been very good. I bought 2 charts. And this is Pear House. It's beautiful. It is charted with fancy floss. I just went through and if I had the fancy floss, great. If I didn't, I used the DMC. So I just have a mix here and it's gonna be fine. And it's in my So Cute pear bag from Quilting with Nico. I have a little, little button and pear. So anyway, and so get your porta. I'm sorry, I'm kerfuffled again today. And I got a bit of a start on this one. I messed up and had to pull something out. So, but it's so pretty already. My light looks funky. I hope it's turning out, but I'm stitching this. It's a 40 count. It's a Fortnite Fabrics. I don't know what it is, and they're not making fabric anymore, but that's what it is. And I actually have on the other side of the fabric, this is from Hands Across the Sea. It's the rose and the giant pear, or the giant pear, whatever. Trisha had hers framed and showed the frame of it today, and so now I'm itching to get back to that one as well. But anyway, so this was, what is it called? You guys, why did I miss? Blueberry Stitch Sal. So if you have a Blueberry Ridge design, or I'm sure any design with a blueberry in it, I am doing Pear House. There is a strawberry house, a kiwi house, a pomegranate house, and a blueberry house. So if you want to join us, feel free. But yeah, it was naughty. It was a little bit naughty. I hadn't spent any money on stash since we found out about my husband's job loss, and I bought that chart. And then I bought one yesterday, but that's a whole different story. We're going to get to that now. So this came about yesterday, out of nowhere, kind of. People have talked about these Carolyn Manning designs, the big, they're like quilt, color block quilt. Everybody says that they're total comfort stitching, and I am in the midst of a pretty stressful week here. And so the news has kind of hit everybody that the job is going, it's complicated and it doesn't matter. Anyway, I thought, man, I could use some comfort stitching. And of course, the second I thought about it, Barb of Stitch Brat posted her beautiful Carolyn Mannings. Now, if you want a Carolyn Manning show, go look at her videos. They are stunning. They're just stunning. And she always speaks so highly of them. And so I thought, you know what? Let me just go look at what they are. And because I knew they're full coverage, and I knew I had a piece of 22 count. It's Hardinger fabric, I think is what it's called, but I get it at like Michael's. It's 22 count. And I thought, well, I have that. So then I went on the website, and the PDFs this PDF was $6. And I was like, okay, I have the fabric. I have the floss. It's all DMC. It's $6. I'm going to try this because I could really just use some comfort stitching. And so the one I picked is Barn Dance. Look at how pretty those colors are. Well, let me show you how pretty the colors are. And it turns out I had all but one of the colors, and I'll figure that out. It'll be fine. I'm like, are you serious? I don't have that color. But I did have all the rest. So, I mean, look at this. Look at that. I know. And I guess we're not supposed to do this anymore either. But, I mean, the colors are there's everything you'd want. There's some blues. There's some reds. There's a poppy yellow. There's some white in there. Like, it's really beautiful. And so I started, and I miscounted already once. I had to rip out once, and I'm like, okay. I went on Instagram. I'm like, I'm gonna need your tips because I'm already off. And of course, Barb gave me the best tip so far that made sense. So as you can see, I was doing like this square, then this square, then this square, then this square. And she said, it's much better if you do the stars, which then you can see, like you do these yellows, you do these browns, like, you know what I mean? It gives you a little bit of a pathway. So I haven't gotten far. I would like to spend some time on this. You can see it a little bit better there. I would like to spend some time with this because once I kind of get the pathway, all the counting then is the same from there. So I think once I kind of get the pathway in, then it'll be much, much easier to move forward. So that was yesterday's adventure. And that's what happens. I'm like, I can't deal right now. I'll start looking at PDFs. And I'm pulling DMC, and then I don't stitch much because you guys know this. All right, I did have I had my son, whip bags. Okay, so for last year, I did it consistently. Every Sunday night, my son would pull a whip bag and I'd work on that whip sometime during the week. And it's just kind of pared down. I'm sticking to one thing. And so, but I did, if it's a Sunday night and I feel like, okay, going into this week, I feel like I can take one on, then I have him pick one. And that's fine. So I did do two. The first one is The Christmas Witch by Kathy Barrick. So cute. It says, the Christmas Witch, she loved to stitch. She stitched a hat for her black rat. She stitched a cake for her black snake. Oh, for pity's sake. It's so cute. And this I started a long time ago. And I actually, this is a total, I picked all the colors for this. So first, it's on 40 count platinum. Oops. It's on 40 count platinum. And I worked on this whole cat. His big bump. His tail goes up this way. But so I worked on him. And so so Kathy Barrick, as usual, this is kitted in NPIs. And I had bought a Dinky Dyes Oops pack. Every once in a while on their, it used to just be their Etsy store. I think that that's still right. They'll put up like an Oops pack, which are just a collection of ones that maybe didn't dye quite right or were too short. Like when they were making their skeins, it came up a little bit short. So some of these are colors that they make and they're just, the skeins are shorted, and some of them are misdyes. But it was kind of, and I think it came out to be kind of Christmas colors, muted Christmas colors. But you have these gold and you have this green and you have this red, kind of this whitish, it's kind of whitish pink, but, and then I added this gray one. But anyway, it's a perfect little set for this Christmas stitch. So so it is my conversion, and it is converted to Dinky Dyes, but I don't know if these Dinky Dyes exist. So some of them I know do, because they have familiar names, but some of them don't. So anyway, this is a project that I didn't realize was as big as it is, but it is, and that's okay. I love it. So that was one of my whip bag picks. And this was another one. This is a sleeve sort of thing. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Anyway, and this one I ended up finishing, which is really exciting because I love this. This is, Autumn Fractor by Plum Street Samplers. I did use all of the called for floss except for the black. The black it calls for is espresso bean. Why can't I say that? I want an espresso. That sounds wrong. Anyway. I don't think they had that when I kitted it, and so trying to find it. I subbed out black coffee, which, so this uses a full skein. So mine, my black is a little more gray black as opposed to brown black. And this is stitched on 36 count Winter Moon, just a swag art. And I finished it. Oh, I finished it. I'm gonna do it this way. Oh, it's so pretty. I can't see what you're seeing, so I'm just gonna go slow. I love this. And I usually take dates off of things unless they mean something to me or to the actual purpose of the stitch. Does that make sense? So this one has 1683 and says, special note, 1683 was the first year that Germans started immigrating to Pennsylvania, where they created their distinctive ink and watercolor art known as Fractor. And immigration and art and culture go hand in hand. And so that date means something. So I left it on. So I love this. Like, love it. This part is totally screwed up and I do not care. But because I am who I am, I also have fully kitted. I think I bought this in 2020. This, let's take it out. This is Blackbird Fractor. And so, okay, I started this in 2020. It is 2025. But what is about to come out of my mouth is that when I finish this one, that hasn't been started, they will be the same size. And I would love to find frames, honestly, and frame them like together. So anyway, there's that. Oh goodness. So this is to be done, but this is done. And so I will take the win on that one. All right, so those were the only two bags I had my son pick this time. We'll see what happens. It's okay. I did the majority of them, and that's life. Okay, on to Haul and Stitchy Kindness. Oh, the Stitchy Kindness is gonna make me cry. So again, I just bought those two patterns. It's bad. I shouldn't be buying anything, but I bought those two patterns, and I got my Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I subscribed for this a while ago, and so I have, I think, 2 more coming. And there's some cute stuff in here. I was going to put a little thing, and I didn't. I forgot. Anyway, but I'm going to show you a few things that I didn't purchase, but they are new to me. So I went back. When you buy your Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, you get a login to go back, excuse me, to all the old issues. And so I went back to the summer ones and I found a few things that I want to stitch. This is Strawberry Field by Sub Rosa Designs. So cute. I'm not going to do the border, but so I thought I'd do that one. And then I do like this one. This is called Sweet Land of Liberty by the Humble Stitcher. I probably wouldn't do the words, but I love that big red house. And then I went to my local library. On your Libby app, you can get just Crossstitch magazine, and the Halloween episode. I can't think of the word. The Halloween magazine came out, and if you go to your libraries, I want to encourage my library to keep buying it. I can't buy it right now, but if my library keeps buying it, that's good for everybody. So the first thing that I took out of that is called Little Mushroom Ghost. This is by the Little Stitcher. Look how sweet that is. I love that one. I also got Tiny Pumpkins. This is, the designer is Wickham Cottage, which I've never heard of, but look how sweet. I would not do it on dark just because I can't see that, but it's super cool. This is Per a Normal Activity by Flossie Fox Shop. That could have gone wrong. How cute is that? I love that one. And then, I thought I got one more. Oh no, that's a different thing. This is a different thing. The other, I don't have a printout of this one, but the other thing that I found, I watched the Seattle Stitcher, and she was talking, and I've heard other people talk about this. It's called the antique pattern. Oh, Karen, that's so stupid. Maybe it's on here. Antique Pattern Library.org. And she's stitching these beautiful flowers. In fact, she's stitching this one. These pretty, pretty flowers. And I had heard other people talk about it, but she was lovely and put a link to this pattern, which landed me right in the right spot where I needed to be. And I found these roosters. This, well, chicken and rooster. So I'm hoping to do that soon. I just love that. And so I think what they are, and go watch her video because she knows what they are, but they're older, you know, part of the public domain, either leaflets or magazines, that sort of thing. And then lovely volunteers create PDFs and you can download them. So that was my kind of, for haul, I bought 2 patterns, but I also found through either my library or resources or whatever about 6 other patterns that I can do. So last but not least, 2 things of Stitchy Kindness. I don't know, I started this and I don't know where it is because it's not in my basket, but I only did a little bit, so it's not bad. But a lovely friend gave me this chart. And I'm not gonna cry. I so appreciate it. And I did start it and I don't know where I put it, so I apologize. I will find it. A few things didn't make it into the basket this time. I don't know why. Little distracted. But then I got a lovely package from Annie at Needle in the Hay, XO Needle in the Hay XO. I think we all say that wrong the first time, but it doesn't mean we don't love you. And I mean, well, you know Annie, and so just beautifully packaged. Look at that. Look at this. And I'm not going to show every little bit of this. This is so, it's so wonderful. But she sent me this beautiful little, this little cat was on the package, and I got him off. I'm going to put him, he has the place waiting for him, but I wanted to show. And then she sent this. Annie, I'm not going to be able to give any of this justice, but this cute little vintage deer. So I need to add a little hook and put him on some scissors. And then she sent these flosses. They are, I don't know what they are. They're from Denmark. And the color, I mean, you know Annie, her design sense is just beyond compare. And so I just love those. Look how beautiful. So I'd like to find something just to stitch in those colors. I'm not going to be able to give this justice. I can tell. I'm a little tired and I'm just a little overwhelmed. She sent this very cute, this is vintage, $1.39. And it's so cute. It has the frame and everything. And it says, Friends are life's treasures. So this is right now going downstairs with me. I'm going to stitch it. I'm going to frame it in this cute little frame and it's going to go up there. It's going to be one of my frames for next time. This fun witch's boot. Wanda's boot. Full Milhhill kit. That's going to be added to our stash. And then she sent me a lovely card. And she sent me this. It was wrapped in this. I mean, she takes care of everything. And I just love it. I love it so, so much. This thing. I just love it. It's a Flosky but he's so crazy cat. I love this. Thank you for seeing me, Annie. I love that. And of course she sent me beautiful. I need to just wonder. I'm trying to do this. This is Pretty in Pink by Shakespeare's Peddler. Oh, lost the paper. These cool seed packets. Isn't that fun? This is by June Grigg Designs. This thing is... So these are no small feat, but I love them. This is something I might actually just put this in a frame and put this up here. I love them so much. I love to stitch a fruit or a vegetable. Especially fruit. I mean, especially vegetables. I love them. I'm sorry, I'm losing it a little bit here. And last but not least, she sent me this book. My plan is to get a big piece of fabric and literally stitch through this book. It's so... I'm trying to get it together. I'm sorry. It's the Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs, and it is so beautiful. And I literally want to stitch every single thing in it. We have this, and I've never done a drum. And I thought, oh, well, I just won't stitch it as a drum, but look at the beautiful top. I want that to be my first drum. I like literally, I'm just going to go through and stitch everything. This is in my garden. There's so many birds and there's such pretty colors. I want to show you everything, but oh, this one. Hollyhock. Look at these little like lollipop. I don't know what a hollyhock is. Do they look like lollipops like that? Oh, I can't wait to stitch that. I'm gonna get a piece of fabric and the flosses, and if I don't have the fancy, I will do the DMC. I'm not gonna let anything stop me. I'm not gonna put this off. I actually stitched this one twice already. This little cute hollyhock, I think, again. Is that what that is? Let me know if you know. I don't know what a hollyhock is. I mean, this one, look at that bird. This bird on this house. And looks like almost like a cornfield, but they're flowers. I love every single thing with this. And this one got me. This one says, she works with willing hands in delight. And I think what I want to do is, right there, you can see my forward pillow and my worth pillow. Those were like my words of the year. And this year was forward, and I was kind of hoping that would be, you know, optional. But we're kind of getting moved forward, and the thought of not being able to stitch as often has made it feel very dear to me. So I think that what I would like to do is, instead of having a word of the year for next year, I want to have an intention, and this is it, that she works with willing hands in delight. So I'm going to get that one started as soon as I can. Oh, they're all so beautiful. There's so many things in here too. This is another drum. I wouldn't do it as a drum, but look, it has this beautiful berry bowl. And then this guy, oops, sorry. It's a peacock, and you can't see his tail. So that's when I saw, and I thought, well, I wouldn't do that one as a drum. I'd do that as a pillow just because I want to see all of the beauty in there, you know, all together. Oh, look at this sweet little one too. Look at that mama bird with her baby. Anyway, so Annie, thank you so much. What beautiful treasures. I'm going to stitch them and I'm going to enjoy them and I'm going to be thankful for your friendship and for this community and for what it brings to me. And every time I'm away, I kind of tell myself I don't need to come back. And then I do this and I need to come back for me. And so I will continue to try and do that. I hope that you all are well and safe and taking care. And if we get back here, we'll do it again.